What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, and today I'm back to bring you those 40 facts on the Warhammer 40k universe. And these 40 facts are going to be about my own personal legion, the 11th Legion. So if you guys don't know, I did make my own legion, the Celestial Sons. The missing Primarch was Alec Elric and whatnot. But if you guys want to learn about that, go check my playlist on the Celestial Sons, because this will focus on their Chaos counterpart, the Infernal Suns. So if you don't know, the Infernal Suns were created when the incident known as the Fractured Sun happened. So the Fractured Sun incident was essentially the turning point that made the Emperor decide, okay, I'm going to excommunicate the Celestial Sons, the 11th Legion. I'm going to obliterate them from existence as if they never existed. And because of that, a good portion of the Celestial Sons turned to chaos to get revenge on the Emperor. And not just that, but during this Fractured Sun incident, the Space Wolves were sent in to attack and exterminate him, as well as other forces. But these Celestial Sons, some of them actually turned. So they were like, you know what? Yeah, the Emperor's right. I gotta kill my own battle brothers. And this just infuriated one of the characters in that army, known as Dante. So without further ado, guys, let's dive into an overview of my army of the Infernal Suns. When the Celestial Sun sets, the Infernal Sun will rise. Chaos Lord Dante. After the Fractured Sun incident, Dante was angered at the betrayal from not only the Emperor and the Imperium, but most of all from his fellow battle brothers of the Celestial Sons. During the confusion and chaos of the massacre battle going on, Dante met up with his protege, Varos, the Dawn's Lance, and together the two Astartes began amassing a small force of Celestial Sons, loyal to his cause, retribution against the Celestial Sun traitors. Dante and his renegade force fought their way to the underground chambers of the Forge of Eldia, slaying both Space Wolf and Celestial Sun alike. By now, the allure of chaos had infected Dante's psyche. The Chaos Gods gave him the power he wanted, and it twisted his armor. From each crack in his power armor, blood dripped out, the armor itself twisting with demonic energies. Even his weapon was different now. Dante began an insidious chant, and evil sigils appeared upon the floor beneath them. With a mere look, he ordered Varos to kill one of their own. With no hesitation, he plunged his spear straight through the face of an Astarte across from him. This would be the blood sacrifice needed to begin the ritual. A circle of blood was created, and Dante as well as Varos stepped inside. You who desire power to cleanse the galaxy of this false emperor and to massacre our traitorous brothers, step inside. 3 other Astartes stepped in: Arunsar, Belacrax, and Dionys. These would be his generals, and in time they would achieve unspeakable acts in order to appease the Chaos Gods. The ritual was now complete, and the renegade Astarte warband of the Infernal Suns dawned new light into the galaxy. A new light that would cast the darkest shadow across the Imperium of mankind. So now let's dive into the characters of this Chaos warband, beginning with the Chaos Lord Dante, also known as the Midnight Sun. He is Chaos Undivided, and he has a strong connection to the Demon Forge as well as the Dark Mechanicum. He dons the armor of the Bleeding Sun. In contrast to his former legion's colors, Dante wears a pitch-black armor, and each crack in this armor is forever oozing blood. Some say that this blood is not his own, but that of each Celestial Sun Marine that he has slain in combat. His weapon of choice is Sun Eater. This demon weapon draws in all light around it. Each blood rune on the blade shines brighter the more blood the demon bound inside tastes. For ranged combat, he wields a plasma pistol. Now, if you guys want to play this guy out on the battlefield, the rules that I use for him are that of Cranon the Relentless, or you can just use a Chaos Lord, give him a Power Sword and a Plasma Pistol, and that's essentially the same thing. Now the interesting thing about Dante is that he has a progression. So as part of the Celestial Sons, you can see the model, which is this guy here. He was pretty legit, pretty OP. He was the third in command of the whole Celestial Sons. Obviously, the first in command was the Primarch, Alec Elric, and then second in command was the Golden Sun, Sol Oros. Now, Sol Oros and Dante Hueco always had a mini feud going on. They were always trying to one-up one another. But the thing about Sol Oros that infuriated Dante was that Oros never used ranged weaponry. He always fought with his blade and his hammer, and even against incoming fire, he always came out on top, and that just pissed off Dante. So that's where their little feud began. I'm going to cover this in more stories later on, but just know that these two have a thing going on. Now let's move on to Varos, the Bloody Lance. Varos is the demon prince of Khorne. The chaos god of blood and skulls saw the bloody path that Varos was on, and to keep him on this path, Khorne bestowed immortality to the warrior in the form of a massive demon prince. Now Varos is quite the grotesque sight to behold. Impaled across his demonic form are countless lances and spears. Each one appears to be made of bone, and it is covered in blood. When Varos launches these spears, the blood ignites, creating a flaming projectile of warp fire, ready to impale the unfortunate foe. Now, if you wish to play Varos, it is a demon prince of Khorne with wings. He has 2 malefic talons and a warp bolter. Essentially, the warp bolter is just him tossing these flaming spears at people. Now, the image you see here of Varos, that is not a GW sculpt. I forget the company that makes it, but I really do like the sculpt for it. I just think it just looks so much badass. Demon Princes are cool and all, but this guy is just so much bigger, so much hulking. Looks more menacing than GW's sculpt for a Demon Prince. So most likely I'm going to go with this one. Moving on to the 3 generals, we begin with Arunsar, the 100. So Arunsar and his renegades traveled to the planet of sorcerers on order of Dante. However, the 1,000 Sons attacked. Heavily wounded, Arunsar transferred his psyche to one of the Rubric Marines. Using this disguise, he managed to steal a powerful tome inscribed with chaotic spells. Throughout the years, he has stolen over 100 bodies, and all is for the pursuit of knowledge and power. However, now he fights alongside the Midnight Suns, looking for his opportunity to take over Dante Hueco's body. But to gain his trust, the 100 always summons forth prescience to aid his allies. Now the real cool thing about this guy is that I didn't really like the sculpts for the Chaos Sorcerers either. So I was looking through the plethora amount of models out there that GW has, and I fell in love with Ahriman. I always liked Ahriman as a character, and he just looked so badass that I had to get this sculpt. But I'm like, how is Ahriman going to fit into my army? He's not. So I decided that I would run with the idea that Arunsar can transfer bodies. So with that, I'm like, it works with the lore, and he just took a Rubric Marine's body, and that's what he's using right now. So that's why you've got Ahriman's sculpt in my army. So if you want to use him, he is a Chaos Sorcerer. He's got the Force Stave, a Plasma Pistol. Prescience is always a must. You got to choose Prescience for his psychic ability. And then you can either go with Smite, Warp Time, Diabolic Strength, that kind of thing. Because the main thing about him is that he wants to take Dante's body. So he's got to build up a good reputation, eventually become Dante's right-hand man, and then boom, snatching it. Now let's move on to the other 2. So we've got Bellicrax and Dionysus. So between these 2 warriors, I do want one to focus on Nurgle, and the other to focus on Slaanesh. So that will complete the 4 Chaos Gods in this warband, because we've got Dante Hueco, which he's more of a Chaos Undivided one. You got Varos being Khorne, Arunsar being Tzeentch. So with Bellicrax, I want him to be a Nurgle character. Now the question to you guys is, what should I have him be? I was kind of leaning towards a Demon Prince. That way it could be a Chaos Demon Prince that uses psychic powers, Nurgle powers for that reason. Because right now I got Varos as a Demon Prince, but obviously Khorne is against psychic powers. So I was thinking maybe Bellatrax could go down that route. Or maybe I could do something else. I mean, they don't even have to be HQs. I might have him be like a Chaos Champion or maybe a Defiler, something like that. I don't know. Maybe he died and Dante Hueco, since he's good at like Demon Forge and all that stuff, he put his soul into a Defiler body or something like that. I don't know, let me know what I should do. Same thing with Dionysus. I'm not even sure if I'm going to keep that name for him, but I do want him to be Slaanesh related. So maybe he's riding on a steed of Slaanesh or something like that. Or maybe he's, I don't know, something that has to do with Slaanesh. Again, guys, let me know what you think I should do with these two characters down in the comments below. And now let's continue on with the main force of the Midnight Suns. So the Midnight Sun, Dante Hueco, he's all about the Demon Forge, the Dark Mechanicum, and because of that, his main force relies on demon engines. So here I've got Mauler Fiends. So Mauler Fiends are so deadly that Dante has made them his personal bodyguard. These massive mechanical beasts stalk their prey like hounds, as ectoplasmic drool oozes off of their razor-sharp fangs. So powerful are their flesh metal muscles that Mauler Fiends can literally rip apart a dreadnought limb from limb. The images you see here are my own personal Mauler Fiends. I didn't paint them up, I got them off eBay, but they look amazing. I was surprised at just how huge the model is, so I like them a lot. I think I like them out of all the models I have in this army. These are probably my favorite for right now. Who knows what'll happen later on, because the Varos, the Demon Prince of Khorne, that model, that sculpt is amazing, so I think that will be my favorite once it's all done up. But for right now, these Mauler Fiends are amazing. Moving on, we've got Helldrakes. With a screeching roar, these demonic engines plummet from the sky like a comet, its vicious talons tearing apart enemy aircraft. As these hellish predators soar across the battlefield, it fires either red-hot bullets or a stream of demonic warp flame. Instantly, this was another must-have into my army. In 7th edition, I heard that the Helldrake, the Chaos Turkey, was really good on the battlefield. I'm not sure exactly how well that translated with the new rules in 8th edition, but nonetheless, this is an awesome model, and I just like the look of them. Again, I got these off the same guy that did the Mauler Fiends, so they got the same color scheme, the whole brass and gold look. Really looks nice on the battlefield. I like the touches of like the white bluish flame on its mouth. Amazing. The Raptors. The terror troops of the Infernal Suns descend into enemy lines, ready to tear open their foes and bathe in their viscera. They see themselves as gods, and they look down upon all others, but these egotistical warriors have unquestionable skill in battle, and thus this unit has earned a spot amid Hueco's forces. This unit was originally going to be a Death Company-esque unit for my Celestial Sons, but after seeing it just how different their armor is, I do plan on giving them a black, like bloody color scheme. So I'm like, they're gonna fit way better being Infernal Suns than Celestial Suns. Because I don't know, I feel like white on this mark of Terminator or Space Marine armor doesn't quite look that cool. So I think going with the black and gold and have like bloody splotches on them will look even more brutal. These foot soldiers of Khorne's army are often led into battle by Varos, the Bloody Lance, and they attack in packs. Once blood is spilled, they are driven into a frenzy, screaming with fury as they hack apart the enemy. Covered in blood and entrails of the defeated, few warriors can stand against these brutal demons. So again, guys, I got Varos, had to get some bloodletters. Just having him being surrounded by these demons of Khorne will look amazing on the battlefield. And overall, these are my favorite types of demons. Because you've got the Zeech demons, Nurgle demons, and Slaanesh, but I gotta go with the bloodletters every single time. So let's move on to the final unit that I currently have, and that is the Hellforged Leviathan Dreadnought. A rare sight to behold, this dreadnought leaves death and devastation in its wake. It really does live up to its name, for any survivors are paralyzed with dread, as their weapons bounce off of its chaos-corrupted hull. This guy started just like the Raptors. It originally was going to go into my Celestial Suns, again as a Death Company unit, but it's just covered in blood. It's got black armor. It already fits into chaos. So I'm like, why not? My army's already focused around the Demon Forge, so why not give it a Leviathan? This guy is definitely brutal on the battlefield. My buddy used a Leviathan in one of our games, and it just obliterated orcs. Gershwin was playing the orcs, and essentially this one unit, this one model, took out all of Gersh's army. So it is a beast. And yeah, so I thought, why not? I need one of these beasts in my army. So yeah. And if you want more lore on the Infernal Suns, be sure to check out the playlist on the Celestial Suns, because there is at least, I believe there's 2 more videos focusing on the Infernal Suns. One of it is a battle between the Infernal Suns and the Celestial Suns, so you do not want to miss that. And yeah, just more lore coming for both the Celestial Suns and the Infernal Suns. Maybe they will meet up with my Tau, the Burning Moon contingent, later on in the lore. Who knows? It only gets better from here, guys. So as always, I'm the Sound Alchemist, and with that, I will see you guys tomorrow.